Amechi came and said that he reduced this contract to $800 million, still had dropped.
Okay.
And he played politics with the reduction.
That's a moment.
I want to play politics with it at this
Let me
point.
just clarify. Are you saying that the APC is not on track?
I stand to be corrected. In 1 year's time, there will be no track on the Lagos-Ibadan Railway if the minister doesn't backtrack.
Let me correct.
Face it squarely.
Ken has a lot of facts on this project, having been part of the previous. Like I said, 2 years, you may not see hardware in transport sector. What you do in transport sector is more backroom planning. And then now, it's not correct to the fact that the 1955 Railway Act is not before the Assembly. If you recall, just last week or 2 weeks ago, the Senate set up a committee headed by Sam Amadi to review the laws on NIWA, the Railway, National Transport Commission, and then I think about 6
I agree. I said there's no executive bill. That's what I said.
Listen, let me explain.
It should come by way of executive bill.
It doesn't have to be executive.
That's what I said. I'm not saying they're not reviewing
an amendment. It's an
amendment. Don't forget that we have PDP senators also in the Senate. So it's not only, they're all working
what
together.
I'm trying to say is, you see, there is what you call legislative agenda in the House. There's what you call executive agenda.
He's talking about the APC manifesto.
Wait.
So it should have come by way of executive bill from the APC government to review the 1955 Act.
APC government is in control of the National Assembly as of today. I don't know tomorrow.
Okay.
Definitely. So when you see the Vice President meeting with the Senate leadership, National Assembly leadership, that's when they meet to discuss legislative and executive agenda.
But he has not submitted the bill.
Just wait. The bill, just 2 weeks ago, if I'm correct, if you can play the clip, they set up a committee to review as a consultant to the National Assembly, and it was a 12-man committee. So that has been done. Now let me also go back to this issue of transport planning. There is a plan. You hear the minister talk about Itakwe to Warri, sorry, Ajaokuta to Itakwe.
That's 75 kilometers.
And that eventually would go to Abuja. That's one. He also talked about the Lagos-Ibadan. And from the Lagos-Ibadan, that's the Lagos-Kano. There's a Lagos-Ibadan leg. There is the Ibadan to possibly Abuja, then Abuja to Kaduna, then Kaduna to Kano. That one is there. Then you also talked about the Lagos-Calabar that manage the port line. Yeah. You also talked about the possibility of the Port Harcourt to, is it Mojiguri? That would have the eastern to the northeastern flank. So that's a plan on that. Now let's come to the road sector, and you will see that what we have done in the last.
No, you have not dealt with the rail sector. The rail sector has failed.
No.
So far. You know why I keep saying this? You know why I keep saying this?
Can you say something is failed when you are in the...
Because you know why I say it is failed.
First,
why I say it is failed. The minister lied. He said the National Assembly refused to approve the loan of $30 billion. And that the 7 point, he said so.
No, but what I heard is that
he said the 7.5 billion. He was speaking from two corners of the mouth.
Expectations.
He was speaking from two corners of the mouth. When he had the town hall meeting in Ilorin, he said the National Assembly had refused to approve the $30 billion.
Okay.
That is exactly what he said at the town hall meeting.
Sometimes when they open the Gatwick Heathrow Airport, that's where it failed.
Of course.
On the day of commissioning.
Yes.
So when you talk of rail, it is not contract.
But why is he making so much noise about it when he has not paid? Look, as I speak to you, I stand to be corrected. The China Exim Bank has not even approved the counterpart funding.
Okay, let me tell you where you got it wrong.
They have not approved the counterpart funding. Now he says the Minister of Finance has released the 72 billion naira. He says he has released the money. No, we agree he has released the money. That is 15% of the $1.4 billion that we need for Lagos to Ibadan.
Let me provide this information.
Yeah.
For 8 years, I was a member of the National Council on Transport.
Just a moment, Mr. Okwefa. We need to take a break. And when we come back, we still have the issue of road, air transport, maritime transport, and inland waterways. Don't forget, Mr. Adesina too will weigh in on this matter with some of the experts talking to us on this matter. Join us again. Thank you so much, everyone, for staying with us on the program. Now, let's move. We dwelled mostly on the issue of road and rail. Let's quickly move into the air transport, maritime transport. If you look at what the APC is promised, to embark on modernization of the aviation infrastructure compatible with international safety standards, continuous encouragement to private airline operators subject to their meeting. But some of these things don't look like they've started, have they, Mr. Okwefa?
So the air transport sector is the one we think is a little bit behind schedule of the other sector. But let me say this: the Minister for Aviation, Minister of State, made it clear the part of this government is to concession those airports to those people who can manage it better, and the concessioning process is on. While that is ongoing, is to sustain the existing situation and improve on the standard. And that's what you're seeing at the Abuja runway. And that's why you will see the Vice President making a visit to that particular sector. So for me, I would say the plan for the air sector is to concession.
What about maritime?
Now, in the area,
and is right on track and is okay?
Right on track. Now, for maritime, there are some constraints which this administration has also moved ahead of. There were a lot of concessions at the maritime sector, and those concessions expired 2016. So the new concessions are taking care of the direction of what the government needs to do. But let me correct this issue about this issue of rail plan or not. We must commend this government for completing the Abuja-Kaduna rail track. We must commend this government for kickstarting the Lagos-Ibadan and the Lagos-Abuja and the Lagos-Kano. I signed on behalf of Lagos State Government on May 22nd, 2015. What we could have signed 4 years before that, it wasn't signed.
Okay.
So this government has done so much on the rail.
Right.
What you will start seeing in the rail sector is the 1/3 we promised. We promised to do 1/3 of the 4,300 kilometers. And we are right on track with the 1/3.
Yes. Weighing on this, if you look at air transport, maritime transport, the PDP government tried doing the issue of concession. It created a lot of trouble.
But let me quickly, I'm going to come back to that. 3,500 kilometers is what we still have on the rail sector. The track to Abuja was completed by the PDP government. The only thing you did was a signal. I stand to be corrected.
And that's the conclusion. That remains
what
about the air and maritime?
Now, for the air, I wouldn't fault this government too much on the issue of air. You know, they've had challenges. One of our national carrier, I would say ARIC, which is what it has been, has
ARIC, our national carrier?
It's more like a national, whether we like it or not.
Not a national carrier.
It is our national carrier, whether we like it or not. We don't have a national carrier. Nigerian Airways is Kamato, so ARIC is our national carrier. Now, it's been AMCON. It's been indebted to AMCON. And so what this government has done, whether I like it or not, I must commend them. I must commend them in taking over ARIC at this material point in time to sustain.
Do we need a national carrier?
We need a national carrier, and it's very key. Even though it wasn't expressly part of the manifestos of the APC, but it's key that we have a national carrier. So in the air sector, the closing of the Abuja airport, rebuilding the runway, it's behind schedule quite all right. But it was a bit sensitive because of the fact that we don't have a national carrier.
Let me quickly allow Mr. Adesina to weigh in on some. You've listened to the conversation. If you will give us a closing statement on this, what are your thoughts? Do you think the president has some plans that we do not know as Nigerians? And what are your thoughts about these conversations so far?
Well, thank you. Yes, there are plans, and like Mr. Okwefa said, in 2 years, you may not have seen all the physical structures you want to see, because some things are being done in the background. But like I have always said, I'll say it again, a government is elected for 4 years, 48 months. And by that time, you will see a lot that will have been done.
All right.
The Lagos-Ibadan railway that was flagged off last week is scheduled to be completed in December 2018. That's a timeline, and we wait to see it being completed.
Okay, many thanks, Mr. Adesina. We must leave it at that because of our time. Thank you so much, Femi. Mr. Kayode Okwefa, always a pleasure having you. Mr. Ken Okoli.
It's always my
pleasure. Always a pleasure. As we close now, for a nation with abundance of oil under the ground, but still imports refined oil, and a nation that has enormous agriculture abilities, cocoa, for example, but cannot boast of making chocolates on our own soil. Cassava so enormous, but they talk about Indian Gari, and the fact that Nigeria cannot even produce ethanol for its consumption could make anyone think our problems are beyond the ordinary. Leadership, some say, is a major problem. But my question is, when are we going to get it right? Food for thought, everyone. That's our show for tonight. Many thanks for being part of it. On behalf of the team, bye.